Welcome to Perth's #1 podcast. You're listening to the Jamo and Dylan Show.
Yeah, we're on the way to Dunsborough. Little mad trip with the boys. We're celebrating.
G'day guys and welcome back to the Jamo and Dylan Show. It's episode 85 today and it is our pleasure to introduce the Australian Ninja Warrior champion.
First one.
Let's go. Ben Polson, a
Crazy.
WA boy. It's a pleasure to have you on, mate.
Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it. Good to be here. I was just saying to Dylan before, I am local. I am Perth. I've lived here my whole life. But when you told me the suburb that I had to drive to, I'd never heard of it.
Never heard of it. No one knows where Martin is.
No, I always have to tell people like, oh, it's near Gosnells. But
Just
then
Martin
that's a
sounds
bit
classier
scummy.
than
It does.
Gosnells, you know?
It sounds very classy. No, it's actually nice. Met the bird, Jamo the bird.
Yeah, great. I've
Yeah.
talked about Jamo before. Quick little rundown for you, Ben. So basically, my name's Jamison, right?
Yep.
I was called Jammy by mum and dad, and I always wanted a brother. I was blessed with a beautiful sister, but never had a brother. And so basically, for my 7th birthday, I got a bird, right?
Nice. 7th birthday.
7th
The
birthday.
same bird.
The same bird. 14 years old.
Lives a sad life though, doesn't it?
It does. It's in the cage all the time. It flies once a week, which
Wow.
is fun, but
Wow.
Outside or?
no.
And be gone.
It'd be
Yeah, it probably
long
wants
gone,
to go.
mate.
Surely his last year of life. It
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
like-
just said it for last minute. Alive.
probably
Yeah.
die in like a minute or something.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
It'd get swooped and eaten
Yeah.
alive. But yeah, basically, because I was Jammy, I always wanted a brother, and I was like, oh, it'd be similar to me. So
Sure.
Jammy and Jamo, the brothers.
Okay.
I love it.
When I started playing footy, I was like 12, 13. They nicknamed me Jamo. So
Nice.
Now the bird's after
Hell yeah.
you.
yeah, and then Dyl comes over and just takes the piss and calls my dog Jamo, and like
Just
my
like he calls
dad.
everything after him.
Everything's
Yeah.
Jamo.
Well, that's that for the bird. Do you have any pets?
I'm a big animal guy. I've got had a few pets over time. Like in our backyard, we used to have like guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
anyone have guinea pigs anymore?
I don't know.
I feel like it's like a 90s thing.
It actually could be because I haven't gone to someone's house
Yeah, no.
in the last 10 years that has one.
No,
So.
there you go. I'm onto
that's a
something.
90s thing.
Do they even
Pigs for
exist
pets.
anymore?
Yeah, no.
I've never really
When, like
seen one. I don't
Bardo
think.
and the Spice Girls were around. That's when
Okay.
guinea pigs were hot, you know.
Yeah.
So I had guinea pigs. I got 2 older sisters, so they were big with animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had rabbits. We had chickens in the backyard and everything, all in Florian as well, which is,
Okay,
you know.
you'd expect that out here.
Yeah, that's
Not in-
right.
Yeah,
So they're all dead now, though.
yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
every single one of them. So that's a bit sad. But we do have one dog left.
Okay.
Maya. She's
Old?
a great dog. Yeah, pretty old. I think she's about 9, getting on 10.
Okay.
So getting there. Just a tiny little terrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So but yeah, I'm a big animal guy. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
There you go.
What's your favourite animal?
Don't know. I'm not the biggest
He's not
animal
a big
person
animal
in
guy.
general.
We get
Really?
scared of animals.
Anti-animals or just?
Kind of just, I guess, more scared. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I haven't really been surrounded by them. Like, I had a dog growing up. That's
Mm.
about it, really.
Sure, fair enough.
When I was a kid, like my favourite animal was a monkey. Never had a pet monkey though. I
Yeah,
feel like you have to
monkey's
be-
me. That's
Yeah?
for sure. Yeah,
You
I think
have to-
that's
We were
what-
saying that we were watching some videos earlier, like, just of you, like,
sure.
on the
Yeah, yeah.
course, and you did one yesterday, and we said, like, you move like a monkey. Like,
yeah.
just, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's
Like Tarzan or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think that's why I enjoy doing ninja is because it makes me feel not like a monkey, but it
Yeah.
makes me feel like a kid.
Yeah.
you know, just
Yeah,
like swinging
just
around.
playing about, yeah.
I actually went through a whole phase of, you know how everyone, well not everyone, but a lot of people have like a ninja name.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Dyl Ninja, Jamo Ninja,
Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
is, right? Just add ninja to your actual name
Yeah.
and you're. For me, I was trying to think of something unique, and I did this whole logo and wrote it up. This was back in season 1,
Yeah.
and I was going to be called the Gibbon Ninja.
Okay.
Right, because I was like, long span, swinging around like a
that.
gibbon.
Gibbon.
And I had this whole thing sketched up. I spent hours on it.
Yeah.
Like it's always fun creating that stuff. Showed my parents. They're like, yeah, it sucks. No, they're supportive. They're like, yeah, that's sick. And I was going to get printed on shirts and all this kind of hype and it just kind of blew over. And I'm
Yeah.
really, really glad it did because I'm glad that you're not introducing me as Ben Polson, the
Gibbon.
Gibbon,
Imagine that.
the Gibbon Ninja.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it's all part of it.
So, how did, I guess, the ninja journey start? Were you always athletic as a kid growing up, or?
Yeah, it started with, growing up, I played every sport under the sun that you can think
Yeah.
of, from footy. There's a bit of footy. I know you guys are footy boys.
Yeah, we love footy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What position did you play when you played footy?
I played, here's me going to sound like an absolute noob now because I do not follow footy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right.
But I was on the wing a lot of the time.
Okay.
okay.
or in the back half because I just couldn't kick goals.
Jamo said centre half back.
Yeah,
If
I could push you, like
sure.
with your physique in the AFL now, centre half back, that'd be ideal. Yeah.
Just
Occasional ruckman as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
When
definitely.
did the height kick in?
The high kicked in probably. I was actually pretty. I was never short, but I was really like scrawny growing up as a kid, and got bullied a lot in school and stuff. And then through high school, maybe like year 9 to 12, I really like shot up. You know, still got bullied, but they looked up to me when they were bullying me.
What was the bullying about? Do you think that was purely because of your physique, or like
it was half my physique for sure,
Yeah.
like skinny legs and just like all this stuff, and then half of it was my hair, which I'm actual natural redhead.
Okay.
And it was, and now you probably think, oh, he's hiding from his red hair. It's not true. Yeah, it's actually the hair is a whole nother story. But a lot of it growing up in high school was bullied because of just the way I looked mainly.
Okay.
And I was into a lot of the cool stuff which got the chicks, like playing the trumpet, magic, juggling. You know, I was into all of that kind of stuff, and actually making YouTube videos too, which I got teased about.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that happens in school for sure.
100%.
And then what? So as you got a bit older with the height, how did you get into, I guess, like obstacles and the ninja
Yeah, so
stuff?
I guess it started with during high school and stuff like that. I was very like OCD. I was in the back of the class, leaning on my chair, just being silly. I don't know if you guys were like that in high school or anything like that. Never listening.
Still was a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure. I was kind of barely getting by with my grades, but I was more loved PE, loved woodwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was always changing between sports. So like for 6 months I would do like lacrosse, and then I'd do footy, and then basketball, and then athletics and swimming, and I just tried so many different things through high school, and then leading into adulthood as well. Started going to the gym, and I think just learning all those different skills from all the different sports just kind of added up into a pretty well-rounded athlete. You know, what is it? Master of all trades.
Yeah,
Jack of all
trades.
Master of all trades. Quite the opposite. So it kind of just helped when I got to ninja, and I realized that you needed pretty strong legs, although you don't want big heavy legs because you'd be too heavy. And then obviously the wingspan helps. It's actually called an ape index. Do you guys know?
Okay, I didn't know it was called that at all. I only heard of wingspan.
Let the viewers know.
Yeah, so ape index, and viewers at home can actually measure this themselves. So go up to a wall. Maybe you can try this later. Go up to a wall, stick your hand on the floor, and your chest against the wall, and reach as high as you can. We've all done that before.
Okay.
I got you. Then stand against the wall and see if your wingspan is either equal. It should be roughly equal to your height, or if it's more than your height, then your ape index is, I think mine's +9.
Yeah,
which means my wingspan is +9 centimeters. Yeah, which is great.
Okay.
Great for ninja, terrible for things like gymnastics. You just don't want long limbs, you know.
Because we've noticed through watching like a bit of ninja ourselves that a lot of the competitors are quite short, but a lot of them are very thin. And you are the tallest ninja to take on the Australian course, is that right?
Yeah, I think there were some taller guys, and either I'm not sure if they just didn't do very well, so then they're not invited back, or they just stopped inviting people taller than 6'4", so they can continue to call me the tallest guy. So if that's the case, I feel kind of bad, but I am the tallest that I know of. Yeah.
So then, obviously, like they announced Ninja Warriors coming to Australia. Had you done anything similar to it beforehand, or did you just think, I would be great at this, I'm going to apply, or like how does that happen?
I think there's a gym that opened up in Osborne Park called Ninja Academy, right? And so I rocked up to Ninja Academy, and at the time I was doing a lot of CrossFit stuff and just trying to find something else. My 6-month phase of doing CrossFit was coming to an end. I was getting bored.
So you needed something else to do.
So Ninja Academy opened up, and I went and checked it out and started just like swinging around on some stuff. And I wasn't very good, but I had some base strength there. It's just more my coordination and body awareness wasn't very good, swinging on a bar.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with Ninja is it's really rewarding because you chuck one obstacle, and if you can't get it, you try again. Eventually you succeed, and you get that kind of dopamine hit. You feel good. It's like hitting a bench press PR or something like that at the gym, whatever.
We wouldn't know about that, but
sure. Well, it's like kicking a goal in footy or something, I'm sure. And you just want to recreate that feeling. And I think with Ninja, because there's so many obstacles and they're just never ending, you can just keep recreating that feeling over and over again. So I was at Ninja Academy for probably maybe 9 months before the show was announced. So I had a bit of a head start for sure.
And then the show gets announced and you just thought, yeah. So do you just apply online? Like, is that?
Yeah. So application process was. I saw it on, I think I saw a TV ad and they said apply online. So I went on there and it's a good 2.5 hours of just filling out paperwork.
Wow.
It sucks.
Okay.
But, I was like, let's do it. I've been doing a bit of Ninja. I'm enjoying it. I'd love to go on the show. Super nervous even just filling it out. Because the idea of going on TV is terrifying.
You're thinking, what the hell?
Yeah. But then they bring a whole cast and crew over to Perth. They do a whole tour around Australia.
That's cool.
They come over to Perth and they do a fitness test. And the fitness test back then, to know if you're fit enough to get on the show, was, I think it was 4 5-minute rounds with a 1 minute break in between. And the first 5 minutes was, I think it was doing a plank for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Which the only time I've ever done a plank for 5 minutes was on that test. I've never bothered to do it again.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. Yeah, it sucks.
How many years ago was this?
This would have been 2016.
Okay,
maybe?
yeah.
And then it was 5 minutes of pull-ups, which once again, who does that? Who does that? And then it was 5 minutes of skipping and 5 minutes of something else. But that was all done. And then I went back to my normal day job and just waited for another couple of months to hear.
And just for those who don't know, what was your day job prior to just starting all this?
Yeah, so I had my own gardening business at that point in time.
Okay. Because you did say you enjoy your stuff outdoors. So was that something that you participated in as well, or did you have employees or
Definitely not hiring any employees. I'm not that organised. I used to work for a guy. His name's Audrey, and he does Jim's mowing. He now has his own. It's not Jim's anymore. It's his own one. I worked for him for a couple of years, and I really enjoy the mow life.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you ever done sort of?
Oh, I did a little bit out the back for about a month.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's pretty cruisy work, and
I guess it's satisfying, right? You said you had OCD or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so get all those corners, get the whippersnipper happening.
Yeah.
So it's pretty satisfying work, although obviously it's still hard work because you're out in the sun all day. And anyway, there's one particular job I was at, and I was still waiting for this email from Ninja to know if I was on.
Okay.
And I was at the back of this job, and it was just a massive cleanup. Imagine rocking up to a share house and they've just left it the whole year that they've been there. I'm sure you've seen it. And they didn't tell me, but they actually had a dog, right? And I didn't realize this. And I went in and I quoted it. And they're like, cool. Come back the next day to clean it all up. And I just start whippersnipping everything. Yeah. I'm just going through. I don't know if you can see where this is going, but they had a dog there. I'm whippersnipping everywhere. I didn't realize there was a dog. Oh. Next thing you know, I hit a landmine. And it just sprays dog shit all over. Oh. And this is within the first half an hour of the cleanup. And I'm there for 3 hours. No. So I've just covered in dog shit. I'm trying to wash this dog shit off my face. And the people are inside watching me wondering what's going on. And then my phone goes off. And I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, what the fuck's going on now? And it was from Ninja Warrior. And it said, congratulations, you've been accepted to the show.
You're just like,
stop this dog shit.
What a moment. You're like, fuck this job.
I know, from down here to up here. So I quit instantly. No, I didn't quit. But it was a good moment. And I text the parents and I was just super hyped. And then went on the show that season. And
so what, do you have to pay to fly over there yourself and stuff?
Yeah, so the perks of Ninja, it's changed a bit over time. It's really good now. Not that it wasn't good back then, but essentially they pay for all your flights. I think they give you $90 a day while you're there just to food and all this other stuff. So a bit of money, but that's all you get as far as money. It's just $90 a day, and some people.
So you don't get paid to be on the show at all.
No, no one gets paid unless you win.
Yeah,
which sorry about it. I just went on. And at that point in time, you're just stoked to be there. Yeah. Like the idea of getting flown over to, at that time it's Sydney, and getting put up in a hotel for the first night. It's like
you're just like,
you're walking around Sydney going, does everyone know who I am? I haven't been on the show yet.
So how long does the whole tournament go for, I guess?
It films over roughly 2 weeks.
Okay.
They just cram everything in over a 2 week period. At the time it was in Cockatoo Island, so we had to wake up in the morning 6 a.m, get on a bus, then get on a boat, go over to the island, and then just spend hours there doing photo shoots and interviews. And then they start filming at around 8 o'clock at night is when they'll actually start filming.
Really? So it's late,
Yeah, very late. And then they'll finish filming at 3 a.m.
Really?
So I remember my first ever run. I was super nervous all day,
Mm.
like super excited all day. But then that ran out at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, when you're
and
thinking
then I'm
it's
just like
go time. I'm on
brain
TV.
dead.
Yeah.
And I was the third last runner that night, and it was 2:30 in the morning.
Jeez.
Wow.
And I was just like sitting out in the green room. It was just like back room, just going, what the hell? Like,
What are
when
you
I'm-
doing there? Like when you're waiting, so you've got all the like, so from 8 o'clock to 2:30. Did you rock
just
up
chilling,
at like
like-
a midnight, or were you there the whole time?
Yeah, no, we're there the whole time. So pretty much
Jeez.
from when we get to the island, which is like 8 in the morning, until 8 at night, they start filming. So that 12 hours, we're just on the island, kind of either doing photo shoots or something,
Yeah.
and then just chilling from 8 o'clock until 2:30.
Yeah,
We're just
yeah.
sitting in a room, pretty much,
Jeez.
stretching, chatting, and just trying to keep ourselves entertained.
And
but
then, so how far did you get in the first season?
yeah, so for the first season, or actually back to my very first run,
Yeah.
I noticed when I went out to finally run, I honestly felt like I was on drugs. Don't condone drugs,
Okay.
anyone.
Yeah.
But I was like standing
It was
there,
such a high or
and it
something?
reminded me of being at a festival. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know. Let me
Okay.
just say that.
Yeah.
Reminded me of being at a festival, and I'm standing there like ready to go, and my mates walk up to me, and I'm like, "Whoa! Like where did they
Yeah.
come from?"
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
really, my brain was so fried, so like lack of sleep and everything. I remember standing up on the platform, and the whole 3 count, and there's a producer on the side just going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Yeah.
go, and then you hear the ding. And the fire goes off. I was like, am I like DJing at a festival right now? What's going on? I was so out of it. And then I
Yeah.
did the course run, and I couldn't remember anything. I just
Okay,
like did the
just a
run.
blur.
I ended up hitting the buzzer, and I was like, yeah, sick. And
Yeah.
it was just a massive, massive blur. It's not like that anymore, which I'm kind of glad, because
Yeah.
it's
It's a
somewhat
bit
terrifying.
full on, hey.
It's a bit too much. Yeah.
How do you go with? So, like you said, you get a bit nervous. Do you still get nervous before a run, or is it more of like an excitement feeling?
Yeah, still get nervous. I wish it would kind of go away, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
we actually just filmed a recent season, which will be airing in like June, July.
Cool.
And we filmed that in February this year, and I still like rock up to the stage, and I'm like, oh, why? Like this
Yeah.
tension in your body.
Yeah.
You guys, surely you've experienced that. At
Yeah.
some
We
point.
still get nervous sometimes before a
Mm.
show. Yeah, for
Mm.
sure.
And yeah, it's just this weird feeling, and it's kind of the best part about Ninja is when it's all over, which
Yeah.
is weird to say, but like
Yeah.
the best part is not always when you're doing the course. It's when you hit a buzzer or you finish,
Bit of relief.
and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, that's over.
Yeah.
And then you're like, why am I doing this if the relief is that I
Mm.
don't have to do it anymore?
Okay.
You know?
Because I've
Yeah.
I've listened to a lot of podcasts lately. Like, have you ever listened to Dylan Friends?
Dylan and friends.
Yeah, so it's basically a former AFL player who gets on basically anyone and everyone, and
Nice.
he had like it was sort of a mental coach for professional athletes, talking about performance anxiety and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically running through ways to get over it, and basically it's just continue to put yourself in that situation as
Yeah.
much as you
Okay.
can,
Yeah.
because there's not much you can do. It's all in your head.
Yeah.
And there's obviously like meditation tactics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any,
Mm.
I guess, weird tactics from other competitors to calm themselves before racing?
Yeah. I think one of the most common ones is definitely visualization.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
actually think I heard
Yeah,
you
I've
guys
heard a
talking
lot
about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, there's something else I needed to mention to you
Yeah.
about, which we'll get
All
to,
right.
which you blew my mind like
Okay, all right.
yesterday. I was like, what the fuck? How did this happen? Anyway, we'll get to that. Yeah, I think even you were both talking about, or Dyl, you were mentioning, manifestation,
Yeah, 100%.
visualization.
We're big on that.
Yeah,
all the time.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And
It works.
I feel like it definitely helped me, or I wouldn't have been able to win if I didn't have that way of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Because season 1 and 2, I was just like, cool, this is a bit of fun, and just like rock up, do your thing, had no real tactics. And then I met Jack Wilson, who's like
Right.
the Aboriginal guy. He's called the Deadly Ninja.
Yeah, I remember him.
And
Yeah.
he's very spiritual, and I sat down with him and was talking about a lot of things, and he started to teach me a little bit about, your belief systems and manifesting and stuff
Yep.
like that. One of the quotes he said is he's like, do you want to win? And I was like, oh yeah, I think everyone wants to win, but I'll believe it when I see it. And he's like, no, you need to switch that around. You'll see it once you believe it. I was
Okay.
like, so I have to believe that it's possible first, and then I'll start
Really
to see the
focus on
results. And it just kind of like flicked something in my head, and I was like, this is cool. This is a good way of thinking. I'm always waiting to see results before I think it's possible.
Yeah.
And I think you're just shooting yourself in the foot from day one if that's what you're waiting for. So for me, I started to really change the mindset. And in the back room, in the green room, whenever I'm running the course or something like that, before then, I'd sit there and I'd find a quiet corner, put some music on, and just like visualize myself going through the course
Nice.
and succeeding,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like feel those emotions of like, fuck yeah, I've done
Yeah.
it. Like I've already hit the buzzer. You know, I've already done it.
Done
Time
it all in
time
your
just
head.
hasn't
already
caught up
gonna,
yet.
yeah.
You
Like
know?
it's formality. It's gonna happen.
That's
Exactly. And then I would literally go out there and that would exactly happen.
Yeah.
And I'd go out there, I'd hit the buzzer and be like, hell yeah. All the way till the recent season, still staying with the same tactics. It was the last night that we climbed Mount Midoriyama and I won the whole thing. And that was the hardest mental night I've had in a long, long time.
Yeah. So what's
because-
like? So you keep getting invited back every year? Is that what?
Yeah. So I keep getting invited back every year, which I'm fortunate because most people don't.
But
I
just
think-
because you did well,
I think because I performed well in the first 2 seasons,
they thought
they were like, "Yep,
okay,
come
that's
back."
cool.
And then the recent season it was just like I really, really, really wanted it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Did you
"This
know?
is it."
Did you think like I'm on this year? Like this is?
You know
do you have
what?
that feeling before? Like oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've been here before. I feel like I'm in prime form. Or
Yeah, I thought that in the 3rd season, and
Yeah.
I went in there
Okay.
going, "This is my season. I'm going to
Yeah.
win this." Like this is it, and not in an arrogant way.
just in a confident, like all the prep you've done and
Yeah. I think I see arrogance as thinking you can do more than what you're actually capable of.
Yeah.
Confidence is knowing what you're capable of and,
Yeah.
and going
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
a good way to look
I
at
like
it.
that.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And anyway, so season 3 I rocked up. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. This is going to be awesome. And then I had my worst season ever. Right? I
Yeah.
didn't even make the grand final. I stuffed it in the second round. I was out of the whole competition.
Was
I'm
that like a
"What's-"
low point? Were you feeling pretty
Oh,
down?
I was like,
or-
what's all this manifestation bullshit? This doesn't work. Like, this is crap.
And what do you do for the rest of the season? So, like, you got knocked out round 2. Do you stay there for the 2 weeks and watch everyone else compete?
Yeah, I stayed. You if you're lucky enough, you get the opportunity to do course
Okay.
testing, which is actually wicked fun because you get paid for it. You get paid pretty well, actually. I think
Okay.
it's like $50-$60 an hour just to do
That's
obstacle
sick.
stuff.
is that for like the next seasons, like to see what to put in?
No, just for the next rounds.
Oh,
During the
okay.
day, I'll rock up,
Yeah.
and then we'll do some course testing. We'll like help set the times of like what the time's going to be for the actual competitors that night, or if they need to change the obstacles because it's too easy, too hard. So how I do in testing will determine how hard the course is for the others.
Okay.
So naturally, if you accidentally slip up, you go, "This is way too." Oh no. Yeah, if you do really well,
Yeah.
they go, "Cool, we need to bump it up."
Okay.
Right.
So there's incentive there. So anyway, I stuffed it in season 3, right?
Yeah.
Moving on to season 4, I was like, okay, last year sucked. It really sucked. But one of my favorite quotes is, you either win or you learn.
Okay.
Right? Write that down, boys. Right? So you either win or you learn. And for me, I was like, well, I clearly didn't win last year. So what can I learn? I was like, well, I'd never been in the position where I'd fallen so early in the competition after 3 years. And it was a shitty feeling. It really sucked. But now I know what that feels like. I'm not so afraid for the worst case scenario anymore, right? So I wasn't so afraid to stuff up, to fall, to fail, because I know that it's not the end of the world. My life goes on.
Yeah.
So I think that gave me permission to just like absolutely go for it and not have that kind of thing in the back of my head of like, oh fuck, please don't fuck up.
Yeah.
And
Because it's already
I
happened.
was way more relaxed
Yeah.
in season
Yeah.
4, and I think that helped. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then,
cool.
so what are you thinking, like take us through like grand final night. So you've made it to are you thinking like I'm literally getting to the top, I'm going to be the first Ninja Warrior? Like,
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, it's one thing talking about it here on a podcast. It's another thing actually being there on the night.
Yeah.
And especially because COVID was just coming in, creeping in as well. And that last night there was like 15 crew there. Usually there's like 100, but everyone had gone home. So there wasn't even
okay.
no photographer there.
Yeah.
No one was allowed. So no audience, no crowd. So it was dead quiet. Like if I farted on that course, you'd be able to hear it. The mics would pick it up,
Do you feed off the crowd's energy a lot, or are you someone that doesn't need it?
I think I do. I think I enjoy the crowd when the moment is done and I've hit the buzzer, and that's awesome to have them there.
Yeah.
But I think during and before, it makes me way more nervous.
Right, yeah.
And I preferred not having crowd, which might sound weird.
Yeah.
I've heard some like athletes say that, like in the like NBA players and stuff. Some say they like it, some kind of like it without.
Bro, that's like me at ping pong at work. Like, if I have my people around me, I do really well. And then I went into grand final PM shift versus AM shift, right?
Yeah.
And then I lost to the bloke on AM shift, and there was a packed room, and
Sure.
I crumbled.
Sure. Yeah.
The
But
pressure.
I've been like that my whole life with like performance anxiety in terms of sport. Like, I'll be in the situation, and when it's a big like moment, I'll overhype it in my head.
Yeah.
And
Easy
like-
to do.
Exactly. And I kind of lose focus on what the actual goal is, and I'm getting too caught up in things. So that's why I'm always interested in asking people who have done well in certain parts of life how they keep their head in certain situations. And I can imagine that night, the grand final night, there would have been so many emotions and thoughts going through your head.
Yeah, it was like anxiety was super high, for sure. And like anxiety is something I've dealt with not my whole life, but certainly since like, you know, I turned at 18 pretty much until like, especially 18 to like 24, 25, it was hectic. It controlled a lot of my life.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, as much as that sucked, it probably helped. Getting through that helped me deal with then going on a TV show and doing all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, to your point, it's I know the exact moment you're talking about where you're like, I've done this a million times, but now I'm doing it, and I'm told, or my perception is that now when I do it, it means more than previously when I've done it. So I'm way more nervous.
Sure.
And sometimes I stand there and I do it in a weird way, but I try and really, really dumb it down. Yeah. Like I'll literally be standing there on the course and the fire's going off, the crowd, everyone's hyped. And I'll just try and see it for what it is. And I'll be like, none of this shit matters.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally standing there before Ninja and I'm like, none of this shit matters.
Yeah.
None of these people are really going to come back and remember this amazing moment of me running.
It's a great advert for Ninja Warrior.
No, but I mean...
Former champion.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's all good. It's but it's just my way of, I guess, dumbing it down and going, like, this is just a random metal structure which has been set up. These people have bought tickets to see the crowd live. They probably, you know... Certainly in the early days, they're like, they don't know who I am. I'm just some random kid that's rocked up. And at the end of the day, I'm going to hit the buzzer. They're going to be like, yeah, good for him. And I'm going to go home and that's it. Like, but ultimately, it's a bit bigger than that.
Yeah,
you know?
but you're just trying to calm it down.
I'm just trying to calm myself down.
Lower the stakes.
And it seems to work, you know.
So then how many were, on that grand final night that you won, how many were in, like, how many contestants were left?
Yeah, so it went from, I think it was like 150 at the start of or like 20,000 apply. Yeah. Right? And then like 150 get on.
Wow.
And then I think it was down to 8 people in the second last stage.
And is there anyone you're looking around thinking has like, you're thinking, they're a really great chance to win as well?
Honestly, when you're in the last 8, like every single person,
you're like, everyone here is capable. Yeah,
like they've all got strengths and weaknesses, and like different heights and weights and all that kind of stuff. Which is the good thing about Ninja is that you can, you know, like a lot of sports require you to be a certain height or something. But Ninja's pretty good like that. And I remember going into the second last stage and just kind of going, I'm 1 in 8 chance of taking it home now. And potentially, just in case you guys don't know, or the viewers, there's 2 ways you can win the show. You can either be the furthest fastest, which means that you don't complete everything, but you get further than everyone else.
That was the winner the year before, wasn't it?
That's right. Every other year.
No one's ever completed it like you did in Australia, right?
No, that's right. Yeah. And then the other version is, you complete everything.
Yeah.
So the prize for furthest fastest is 100,000. Last year, the winner... was 400,000. It's weird to say that. It's like the winner. Like
have you rewatched it? Like,
actually not as much as you'd probably think, but a couple of times I've rewatched it, which is a bit of it's kind of weird. It's a weird sensation.
But I feel like
get the same feeling though when you see yourself winning. You're like,
yes. It's actually the moment it hit me that I won was it was the next morning.
No, it was before you raced.
Yeah, before I raced. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well done, Jamo. Listening. So the second time that I was thinking about winning was the next morning, and I was sitting in bed in the hotel, and I'd pretty much not slept. And I don't know if you're familiar with my partner Olivia. She's the redheaded girl. Yep. So she had run the night before as well, and we're both sitting in the hotel room, and I was like just chilling out, thinking about like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? Like, what the hell? And I'm eating these baked beans. I'm like, oh, and then this sad song come on. Okay. And I was like, oh, fuck this.
Can you remember the song?
It's a very common song. I'll have to, I'll send it to you. Anyway. Yeah, it was very like kind of Titanic.
Okay, all right.
And it just kind of came on, and I was like, oh man, the vibes, the feels are hitting me right now. And I'm thinking about all this stuff, even thinking about the bullying that I went through. And
it all comes to like a point.
Yeah, that's right. And I just started like bawling my eyes.
You wimp. Nah.
That's it, I'm leaving. This is not a safe space. Yeah, so, and I'm sitting there, and this music playing. Yeah. And I'm eating these beans, and I just start bawling my eyes because all the emotions just come to the surface. And I was just standing there crying, and my partner looked over and she's like, oh fuck, those must be some awesome baked beans. And I was like, nah, it's just weird when those moments hit you, and you just never know when it is, because a lot of people, it's like at the time, like you've won something, an NBA
like
final or whatever it is.
You see players like, start getting emotional.
That just wasn't me on the night. And I kind of thought like, is there something wrong with me?
Yeah.
Because I'm just like not that emotional. I'm like, oh, I won, cool.
Yeah. Because we were watching. So a few of you got to climb Mount Midoriyama. So you finish the first part of the final, and then what's going through your mind? Like you get to the end, and you're thinking like, oh my god, like
yeah. So
and you went last as well to climb, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, they showed me last.
Oh,
actually
okay.
Go last. TV magic.
Okay. There you go.
So
wait, you didn't know the time you had to beat, or you did?
I set the first time. So the way it actually happened, because on the show it was aired very different, but on the night that we actually did it, so there was 3 of us which completed the second to last stage. So then we had to do the final one, which is the rope climb. If people haven't watched it, it's a 20-meter rope climb, and you've got 30 seconds to do it.
Had you done that before?
I've been practicing a lot. Yeah.
And where do you practice that? Because obviously you can't really do it in a building, can you?
No. So we at the Ninja Academy, they have a high roof, but they actually have this bar set up which goes about like maybe 8 meters high, and we just sling a rope over that and have like a never-ending rope kind of thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I did a lot of practice there, and it was myself, Charlie, and Zach, and I knew I'd practiced the rope climb a lot. I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, I can.
I was pretty confident.
I
I was confident that I could do it under the 30 seconds, but I didn't know how good those other guys were.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I went over to the warm-up area and I saw them trying to learn how to climb the rope in the warm-up area that I knew these guys don't know how to climb a rope. And we all had a laugh about it. Like they're great guys, and they're just like super chill dudes, and they're just all having a laugh. And they were actually going, mate, you've got this, you're going to win. But I also know that they're incredibly strong, and even though they hadn't practiced.
The adrenaline in the moment
that's
could just
right.
fly up. Yeah.
So, short story long, we got to the rope. I actually went first. The rules that the producers told us was that when we get to the top, if it's under 30 seconds, we won't know the actual time, but if it's under 30, fireworks will go off, and just celebrate as if you've won.
Okay.
So which is a bit weird, because you're like,
magic,
I've won, but you don't actually know if you've won. And then we'll all do that. If it's not under 30 seconds, the fireworks won't go off, and unfortunately, boo-hoo, sorry, poor you. And then at the end, we'll come down to the bottom, and then we'll reveal the winner in front of all 3. So I went first. I went up. I felt pretty good. There was a few things which I did wrong, which you can't tell from watching, but I got up there and I was like, cool. I know I've done it under 30. I don't know what my time is though. Fireworks went off. Pretend that I've won. Yeah. And then wait to see what the other guys do. And then Zach was next. I'm sitting there with Charlie and watching Zach, and he's about to go up. And at this point, it's all tense because $400,000 is on the line. And you're like, it's big money and the title and everything. And Zach goes up, and actually he gets to the top, and the red lights go off, which they didn't show on the TV. And he's like, oh shit, didn't do it under 30. And then they went back and they watched the footage, because they were just kind of doing it on a rough timer. But then they watched the footage for when his hand actually touched the button versus when his foot came off. And he actually did it under 30. So he had to climb back down halfway and then redo the second half of the climb
pretend
that he'd won, right? Jeez.
The things you don't know, that's just crazy. Wow.
But technically he'd also kind of know that he hadn't won because clearly it wasn't as fast as maybe what mine was. And then Charlie went, and bloody Charlie is so phenomenally strong.
I was watching him quite closely last season, right? And he's very powerful because he's not a very tall person, is he? But he's pretty strong.
He's just crazy strong, super
Does he
powerful.
practice that stuff, or is it just natural? Or?
I mean, everyone, he is a golfer. Like that's the whole spiel they go with is the golfer, and he is very good. Although he has also done a lot of years of gymnastics.
So that makes a lot of
top secret stuff. There,
that's a massive. When you learn that, gymnasts are crazy strong.
You also find that there's a lot of rock climbers. What else? What are other avenues that people start and then branch off and start Ninja Warrior? Backgrounds, I guess.
Yeah, good question. I think you've pretty much nailed the main ones, which is gymnastics and rock climbing, and then CrossFit as well. It's just a combination of a lot of different skills going on.
So Charlie starts climbing it. Are you thinking, oh my god?
So Charlie's climbing, and Zach's standing there next to me, and he's like, oh man, I think you've got this. If Charlie can't do it under 30 or whatever. And I was like, I'm not going to count my chickens before the hatch,
Yeah,
you know. And
that's
I'm
the
watching
word.
him.
Like finishing and not knowing if you've won. That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it was nerve wracking.
That's right, because we were watching it just before you came, and you didn't have a massive celebration. Like, you're obviously happy that you'd done it, but
Yeah.
because
you didn't know that.
That
you-
makes so much
No,
sense
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Charlie goes up and he's just absolutely flying.
Yeah.
And just going so fast. And I'm like, it's hard to know how fast you go when you're the one climbing versus when you're watching someone.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
And so I'm watching him going, holy shit. And then when he hit the buzzer, I was like,
Uh-oh.
I have no idea what happened here. I have no idea. And then the producers, I heard someone say in the background, I don't know who it was,
Yep.
but they just said it's literally 1 second difference, down to the millisecond. They're like, it's literally 1 second difference, but I didn't know who was 1 second difference. So then they're standing there in the final thing, and they're like, and then this was once again TV magic. And everyone's like shitting themselves,
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
who won, right? Like, who won? And the producers or the host, Ben and Beck, are like, and the winner of Australian Ninja Warrior is... And they always do the pause.
Mm-hmm.
And then the crew go, hold on. There's a
Oh.
helicopter going over the top. And we look up and there's this helicopter ruining the shot.
You just
So
gotta
we have to
wait.
do it all again. And we waited and they released it. And they called out my name. And I was just like,
Yeah.
So
That's
Doing
insane.
typical
Yeah.
white girl thing. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. So no, it was good. It was good.
That's sick.
And by the way, I don't want Ninja Warrior to take over the whole entire podcast. You know, this is still the
Yeah.
Jamo
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Dylan
no,
show.
yeah.
So I don't want to bore the audience in case.
No,
they
I
don't
think
like
everyone will be
Ninja.
interested
Yeah,
for sure.
for
It's
sure.
good to know. And then, so what's your life been like after winning? Like,
Yeah, it's to be honest, it hasn't.
yeah.
Like it's changed in a few ways, but I think ultimately, the financial side definitely helped because then I'm not like super stressed to go and like do different parts of work and stuff like that. Like I'm not doing gardening anymore. I stopped that a couple of years ago. I do more videography style stuff
Okay.
now.
Yeah,
and
it gives you the freedom to do what you want, I guess.
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
cool.
which is awesome. But at the same time, I was really motivated before winning to like go and hustle for work, and now
Yeah.
I'm not as motivated to go and hustle
Yeah.
because it's not as much need.
Mm.
But ultimately, I actually spend most of my time either creating video content like for myself and YouTube
Yeah.
stuff,
Yep.
just because I love it. Writing a lot of music, a music producer as well.
Yeah.
Have been for a few years. And then occasionally I'll pick up other video work as well. Like even just the other day, I did a behind the scenes of a photo shoot of some activewear companies. So
Okay.
just a bit of that stuff, you know. Bought myself a new car.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did you?
Let's get to the fun stuff.
What did
yeah.
you do with the money? Like,
Yeah,
oh no,
yeah, yeah.
actually. So what was the night? Did you like? Was there like a big party that night after you won, or like what was
It was
that?
COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was COVID, which
but
really,
there must have been a
Bit of a
celebration.
dampener.
Usually the whole production crew set up a huge after party, and they're wicked fun because
Yeah.
then everyone just like lets their hair down
Yeah.
and they just act like normal people.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that was kind of cancelled, so
Yeah.
that sucked. But we did hire out like the top floor of like an awesome hotel.
Yeah.
For that night, but we didn't realize we actually finished filming at like 5:30 in the morning. So
Really? What the hell?
So we never really enjoyed that room because by the time we actually got back there, we were
Yeah,
knackered.
sunrise. Happy breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no real celebrations.
Okay.
Unfortunately, sorry to let you down there.
Yeah,
I was thinking of a massive party or something.
Oh, I know, we didn't good, but yeah, COVID kind of ruined everything. So.
One of Dill's big questions was like, what are you spending the money on, or are
Yeah,
you
what did
saving
you-
it, or what did you like get anything special like as a reward? Like,
Yeah, so like the more boring stuff, which is the vast majority of the money went to
Yeah.
like a financial advisor.
Yeah.
You know, like be smart, like
Yeah.
give my money to someone
Yeah,
smarter
yeah.
than me. So that's kind of been pushed over that way, the biggest chunk of it. And then the more kind of fun stuff for myself, like I bought a new car, which is a Volkswagen Golf GTI. You got to add the GTI in there to let them know. And then bought a bunch of Pokemon cards as
Okay.
well. Yeah. It was
Was that a good investment or?
Oh,
is that-
we'll soon find out in a few years, I
Okay.
guess. But so bought some Pokemon cards because that kind of resurfaced in the past like
Yeah.
a year or
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and I just grew up watching that stuff, so I loved it. And then what else did I get? I bought myself a one wheel the other day. Do you know what that?
No,
it's
no.
like
a
a
one wheel.
It's like a skateboard, electric skateboard with a single wheel in the middle.
Okay, I've never heard of
Yeah,
that.
how
really?
does
Okay.
how do the
Google
balance
it.
things?
It's just it's
A one
yeah.
wheel.
Yeah, I thought I'd look cool. I think I look like a bit of a dork that are riding it around. Yeah,
Okay.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, really? There you go. Yeah. So
Is it
viewers-
fun?
Yeah, it's pretty good fun actually. Although I learned pretty quickly that the motor does two jobs. It either speeds you up and then keeps you balanced, and it can only do both of those so much at the same time.
Okay.
So the more you lean forward, the faster you'll go, but then it's using its energy to speed you up and
Not to
using less
balance
energy to
you.
keep you stable when actually you're becoming more unstable. And essentially what happens is the motor just shuts off and you go flying off the front of the board.
Okay.
And I've been told about this. I've been warned about this, and I was like, I'll test it out. I'm a pretty, smart guy. I know what's going on. Next minute, bang, straight off the front of the board onto the pavement. Reminded me of growing up and skateboarding as a kid.
Yeah.
A few grazes, but yeah. So there's the one wheel. Bit of cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Getting deep. You guys dabble in that at all?
No, I
Very
I
barely.
can't.
I've like
Sure.
50. I like joined. What was it? I saw a TikTok. I joined like Coinbase or something, and I have like $50 for free crypto just from learning about it. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like it is what
Just
it
cash
is.
it out straight away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't I understand there's so much value in it, but I just can't trust it, and because I can't physically see it. Like so,
Sure.
So I don't know.
I trust it, but I
fair enough.
just don't understand it that well. But the growth there is insane.
It's like Wi-Fi. How it all happens
It's
in the air.
ridiculous.
Like all this crypto is just.
Even if you
there.
just like, I was looking at like the growth over the last year of most of the well-known ones, and they're up like thousands of %.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
It's. I mean, I think a lot of people have had a lot of success since
Yeah,
the end of last
definitely.
year. But I'm just learning about it as
What
much as I can.
what ones are you invested in? What do you have some favorites?
Well, where do I begin? No. Yeah, look.
Was that your financial advisor telling, or did you think
No,
I want
in
to?
fact, I even asked him
shot?
about it, and he was like, "Oh, look, that's not something we do
Okay.
here. But
Yeah, bit out of
if
depth.
it's like if you want to do it, just dabble with it with a tiny bit, and
Yeah.
make sure you take profits out. If you take profits, don't just like keep holding and just like hoping that it sends it to the moon.
Yeah, that's what everyone. That's what they
everyone
say
does.
in crypto to the moon.
Yeah,
I've
and they're
noticed
coming
that.
up with random coins like
there's heaps
Poo
of-
coin
yeah,
and just
like
like
Doge and
MILF
there's one called
coin.
Shiba
There's
as
MILF,
well.
MILF coin actually.
Really?
You guys
Wow.
second your show
We
there.
do love them, yeah.
So that's been a bit of fun to kind of learn about.
Have you seen some growth? You've done
Yeah,
all
seen
right
some
so
growth,
far?
but I
That's
think
cool.
the problem with me is that I didn't listen to my financial advisor, so I've seen growth and then I wait too long and it just comes back down.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I
Okay.
did, I've gained some, lost some. Where I am on average, I would have to work that out.
Yeah. Okay, that's
What would you guys do if you won, a bit of money?
400k. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Blow it all in one night, wouldn't you?
I'd have to have a big party that night
Yeah.
for sure. And then I think you would, like you did, a financial advisor just so you don't waste it away.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I feel like it could go quick if you weren't smart with it
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't. What would you do, Jamo?
I'd get a new car.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I've got a little Ford Focus that's on its back end at the moment.
What kind of car would you?
Oh, see, I'm not a big car guy, so I'm not sure.
Sure. Okay.
Probably something to make me feel powerful. like a four-wheel drive, all blacked out or something. I don't
that'd
know.
be sick.
How
Yeah,
quick
yeah.
do you get the money? Like, is it
Not
like-
very quick,
Oh,
actually.
really? Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you won the 400. Do you get the whole 400k or is it?
Yeah, so literally...
In installments, like
yeah, no. So the show filmed in like February, and then it wasn't until after the show aired, which was like in August.
Oh, wow.
bit of a wait.
So you had to wait, which is actually it filmed in February. Then the financial crisis like happened, and everything dropped down in March, which would have been an amazing time to buy some shares or stock.
Yeah.
So
And
you'd known
unfortunately-
you'd won before. Did you tell anybody? Like,
No, to keep it top secret.
And were
yeah.
people asking you like,
Oh, for sure,
and you're just like, I can't say.
And I use the Hamish and Andy's not lying technique.
Okay.
Which is kind of you speak about it and it makes it seem like you didn't go well, but
Right.
Yeah.
but it's actually like you're just very misleading.
like,
So they go, oh mate, did you win it this year?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, far out. Yeah, that'd be great, if I won it. Yeah, look, I had fun, but I guess I'll be back
So like,
next
did
year.
the only one like your girlfriend obviously knew because she was there?
Yeah, so
Were you
a few
allowed
of
to
the-
tell like your parents or anything? Or
Yeah, I don't know if I was allowed to, but naturally they're my, they're
Yeah,
my
yeah.
parents, so I don't think I could withhold that information
Yeah.
from them.
yeah, and then so then you don't get the money till like 6 months later.
Yeah, so
You just wake up one day and it's in your
Yeah,
bank.
yeah. No, literally, I was a Friday afternoon. I'm just hanging out with the boys, just chilling there. I was like, having a yarn or whatever.
Anyone had already known you'd won by then? Was that?
Yeah, a few of those guys had because
And was it aired at that time?
because a few of them are ninjas, so they'd
Oh,
actually been
okay.
on the show and stuff like that. So they were already aware, and in the ninja community, the word had kind of got out. And so anyway, I'm sitting there with the boys, yeah. And then my phone just goes, I'm like, oh, what the hell? Holy shit. Holy crap. And it was
Where were you?
400,000. You've just been paid $400,000. And I was like,
Where were you?
I was just in a mate's backyard having just a ninja training session or something.
And
It's
literally
kind of just like this, actually, very similar to as if I were just receiving
It was
notification right now.
400,000,
it
and
just
then you
said-
log
and I
into
was
your
like,
bank app.
Look at all those zeros, yeah.
Did you say anything? Because then the boys,
Yeah,
surely they were like, "Oh, fling us a couple grand."
yeah, no, just casually. Yeah, no,
That's
I went up
insane.
to one of my other mates who we'd been talking about financial stuff just like 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, speak of the devil. And he's like, holy shit, look
Yeah.
at you. So it was a
Cool.
bit of a surreal moment.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
I just tried to
$400,000 in
forget
the
about it
bank.
as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Almost that was my.
Just enjoy the night for what it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's insane.
What did you
weird.
want to ask me before?
Yeah, so get this right. So I was hanging out yesterday, and I was trying to think of like some stuff. I was like, what's some things that go through my mind, just random things which I could ask the boys and get their thoughts on. And I wrote this one down, and then I actually wrote a couple of things down.
All right,
And-
let's crack into them.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
gonna switch the roles.
Yeah, switch tones a little bit. So what I wrote down is you'll go, oh yeah, because I was thinking about it.
Yep.
And I'll read it out to you and I'll see if it sounds familiar. Because then straight after writing it, I went and listened to your latest podcast.
Right.
And
Yeah.
halfway through your latest podcast, I was like, fuck off. This is crazy. So I wrote down, at the end of your life, you wake up in heaven or some sort of room, whatever your beliefs are. And in front of you is every statistic of every moment of your
Yeah.
life. And then I listened to the podcast, and you were like, halfway
wish
through,
I
you're
could
like,
have
oh, I just
stats.
wish that like
I would
you
love
get
that.
every statistic. I was like, how the hell did I just write this down? And then
Yeah.
in the same podcast, I listened to
On
it.
the same wavelength because you're
That'd be
coming
so
on,
sick.
you know.
I know, yeah.
You know, the scary one would be like, "Oh, how many wanks you had in your lifetime?"
Yeah.
Like,
Just
oh.
all time wasted. Like
Yeah.
you would hate to see
That's right.
Yeah, but that's like when you see
how
a
many
lot
hours
of,
on TikTok. Oh my god.
Yeah.
and how many hours like you spend sleeping, and obviously you need sleep in life, but you, what is it? Is it like
How much do you sleep a night?
Yeah.
Australia's Ninja Warrior.
Oh, yeah. I've slowly gotten better, but yeah, still not enough.
Okay.
Mine's just very sporadic. So one
Yeah.
night I'll go to bed at like 12. The next night I'll go to bed at like 2:30.
Oh, so you're not like an 9 o'clock kind of.
No.
Well, what do you?
Definitely not.
What time are you
I'm a
waking
night
up
owl.
at?
So I'll wake up at anywhere from like if I've got an appointment with something, I'll get up whenever I need to. But
Yeah.
otherwise, the earliest I'll probably get up is like 8:30.
Okay.
And then like
So this is pretty normal.
8:30
Yeah,
to
I like
9:30, 10.
You don't need those 5 a.m. wake ups.
No.
See?
No, I'm not a 5 a.m. I'm quite the opposite. Go to bed at 5 a.m. So, yeah. So,
Let's see.
but yeah, that statistic thing, blew my mind when I listened to it straight away. So I
was
always
like-
think about that
what-
stuff.
When you sent in, so basically, why we're here right now is because Ben actually sent in a voice message to the show,
Oh yeah, that
Yes.
did too. Yeah.
yeah.
and you probably haven't heard it, but we have answered that question before.
Oh, have you?
We have.
Oh no
A
way.
long time ago.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
okay.
It would have been early days.
Yeah,
but I
sure.
remember hearing it, and that's when we asked you because we're obviously like, oh shit, it's Ben.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's cool. Yeah. So what was your answer? The question, in case people don't know, is if has anyone been inside an empty room?
I think, what did TikTok say? We put it on TikTok. I
Oh,
can't
okay.
remember.
oh, I forget.
Yeah. I think
can't remember.
my answer would be like, it's impossible, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is.
Surely.
Yeah,
You could never be inside an empty room, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
What-
that has to be it then. Yeah.
What
I'll
do
go
you
with
think?
that philosophy.
What do you think happens when you die? Then are you like religious, not religious?
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
have
I'm going
a theory?
deep now, aren't we? Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Just find your perspective on
Yeah,
it.
no, of course. Yeah, I'm not religious at all. Are you religious? I noticed you got a bit of a
I-
cross there.
Yeah,
or
like I
mixed
grew up.
beliefs?
I grew up really like my mum is really religious, and I went to like Catholic school, primary and high
Sure.
school. So, but I'm definitely not like as strong as I was. But I still would like to believe there's something
Yeah.
like that when you die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
that
of
there's
course.
like goodness up there for sure.
Yeah, I've not struggled with this, but definitely thought about it a lot. As a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like I'm almost envious of some people which are very religious because I'm like they
Yeah.
just seem so relaxed because they just feel like
Well, they
know
have
what
this
everything's
strong
going
belief.
on.
It's like how you believe, you're going to win, like in manifestation.
Yeah,
that's
that's
their
right,
own
yeah.
thing. They just believe that better is up there, and when
Yeah.
so like that's why they're probably so calm because they're just
Yeah.
so sure of what happens after.
I think a lot of them are calm. I think a lot of people also are just like they want to stick to that, but then there's a side of them which is like, oh, I just can't deny the fact that maybe
Yeah.
a lot of this. I mean, are you religious at all?
No.
Or yeah, sure. I just don't want to insult anyone, but
No, we talk about it all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
Right, we insult that many people. We don't give a fuck.
yeah, that's fair enough.
I called the Bible a fake book in like 2 videos ago, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm definitely not religious. I would love to sit down with someone that is and just ask some questions. But
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
almost like I'm so the other way of not being religious, that I'd be afraid that I'd convince them to not be religious as
Yeah.
well. I don't know, like, I'm like, you seem happy as the way you are, believing the Bible and everything. I just can't understand.
Do you
how
think
people
there's anything
believe that.
after?
I used to be very nihilistic, which is kind of like you just think, oh, it's all for nothing,
Yeah.
and then we just die. That's it.
Mm.
And that kind of got me down. You know,
Okay.
thinking about that way.
I'm still a little bit like that because I it's a very simple way of saying it, but I still see us as just like more evolved animals. So like
Yeah.
I look at like a horse and I'm like, they're living a life the same as us. They're going to die. And then like we're all on this earth, like for what reason? Like we just, you know.
I reckon there's
no,
something.
I get it. I totally get it. And I think I was like that. I was very scientific based mind. I listened to Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais, Jim
we
Carrey,
love
all that
Ricky.
stuff.
Yeah, he's elite.
And they always speak about that stuff in a really nice way. And then I kind of, over time, I was like, well, we really don't know so much.
Yeah.
And I think the
we
hardest
probably
part
know
was...
nothing, to be honest.
Oh,
Like,
I think I've just accepting the fact that I really don't know very much was the hardest thing, and being okay with that fact that I
Yeah.
might never completely know. But it also gave me the freedom to kind of go, well, then why do I immediately assume that it's just all over as soon as I die? When I'm like, when we don't know so much stuff and we're still trying to figure it out, but then we definitely know that when you die, this happens. Like, I like to leave a little bit to go, no, I don't know what happens.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. Yeah. And this world is so incredibly complex and crazy
100%.
that it would be ignorant to think that, it's just over in the snap of a fingers. Like, I don't know. I think there's a, you know, I'm a Big Bang kind of guy.
yeah.
Big Bang happened, universe expands. And if that's the theory, then we're all part of the universe. We're all connected in some sort of way. We're connected to the earth, to the animals, to all that kind of stuff. And it's just a never-ending cycle, I guess. You know, it can go super deep, and it's very confusing at times. But I think for me,
It's a lot to understand, because really we're working backwards, because like, you know, when they see like a star explode or something and they'll say that's 10 billion light years away, that means it happened 10 billion years ago.
Yeah.
So, and we're just seeing it. Like,
yeah.
it's ridiculous when you really get into it.
I think it was Ricky Gervais, which was his philosophy is always like, you know, be happy, just enjoy it while we're here.
Yeah.
And I think the hard part is like, you know, when you get older, your mind expands, you start to question a lot of things, and it's really scary. But once you start to question that stuff and kind of jump into there and understand that the world is a lot more complex than you originally thought as a kid,
Oh, yeah.
and you don't know everything, but that's totally okay. And we are here, we're doing our thing, and it's our responsibility to be here and to figure out as much as we can while we're here. It's almost like a responsibility as a human being to enjoy this life while we're here. And also, you know, the other side of it, once it's all over, is it really all over? I don't know everything about the universe. No one does. So I'm leaving it open to...
Ridiculous.
but the
It's
Bible
crazy.
isn't really, I don't think it's my cup of tea at all.
Yeah.
I love, you know, I have nothing against anyone with certain sort of religion. But it's like the one of the sayings, it's like, I think it's Christians don't believe in 985
Yeah,
gods.
I've
I
heard
just
that
don't
one.
believe in one more than them.
Yeah.
And so I just think if you're born in India, you have a certain belief system because your parents, and what's the chances of I'm born here, mine just happens to be the one, my belief system. But if you're born in America or in Texas,
Yeah,
like
you're that.
it just, to me, that almost just cancels each other out.
There's actually a show called The Good Place, it's
Sure.
a take on like what happens after.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's religious at all. It's just a place you go, and then you know, hell's called the bad place. And they say, "Oh, did religion get anything right?" And they say like, "Oh, about 1%."
Yeah.
Like we figured out like 1% of it, that there's a place to go. That's about it.
Sure,
and it was nothing
sure.
like what anyone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And they reckon every religion had like a slight thing that was correct about it. And I was like,
That's
that's an
like-
interesting way to look at it. Like,
I've found that there's a few people, I can't name names, I can't remember exactly who it was, but I remember watching an interview where this person has adopted philosophies from each religion and like made their own like ideology just based off all the religions. So like a
That's
super
kind of cool way
religion.
to look at it.
I think that's kind of what I've done.
Yeah.
A little bit. You kind of just gel. Like Russell Brand is another one that I listen
Yeah.
to. He's very
he's
much
cool.
down that realm, and you know,
He's lived a crazy.
Yeah.
He's done it all.
Yeah, that's right.
He really has. Yeah.
But he's got a good way of thinking about it. Like he when people say God, like you assume one certain thing, this man in the sky, which just controls everything.
Yeah.
But his way of, when he says God, it's almost my way of saying like the universe.
Yeah.
And like I'm sitting there before Ninja Warrior and I'm in the back room, or I'm standing there underneath the rope, and I'm literally saying to myself, I'm thanking the universe.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's what I think I believe
We've
in
been
a lot
big
more
on,
than
yeah.
religion now, is like the universe and like the energy surrounding it.
Of course,
I
yeah.
think that's like 100% like something real.
We've
Like,
touched on people's energy too. Like you can be next to someone and you just get a negative vibe, and then
course.
you
Yeah,
can
just
be
have
next to someone else who's
100%.
like a radiating positive light, and then it just changes your
course.
Yeah.
way of
Yeah,
communicating.
How true is that?
I completely agree. So, it's cool that we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's definitely a rabbit hole you can go down though.
It
isn't
is.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure it
yeah.
is.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Let me see what else I've written on my phone here.
That's
Just throw a left field kind of question here. This is going to get random, but so this is another random thought I've had.
Yep.
So if you were offered the opportunity to take all of the physical pain that you will endure throughout the rest of your life,
Yep.
and compact it into 1 mega minute, so the rest of your life you will be pain free, would you take it?
I'm doing it. Yeah.
You'd do it?
Oh, I think
So just for 1 minute, you're like all the stubbed toes, the
Imagine like you've got something horrific coming, like a heart attack or something.
yeah, but you'll survive.
You'll survive it. But would you take it on?
I think you have to, right?
I
But then
think,
are you
yeah.
taking away parts of life in the future?
Maybe pain's good. Maybe it's good to have pain.
Well,
I don't know.
that's something I've come to learn. Like, you know how
Is it unnatural to do that? Are you messing with the universe?
true,
you know?
Yeah.
true. Maybe I
The
take that.
bad
I retract
karma.
my statement.
I know, but yeah. Oh.
I think it's bad. The way that you said, like, because the universe gives us pain in like different like segments, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then, like, we've talked about it before, you appreciate the good times from going through the bad times. Like, you wouldn't know
course.
what happy is if there wasn't sad.
But then, mate, we could just be more superficial and be like, yeah, of course, like, stop having pain ever again.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Yeah, I think, I think that if it were to actually happen, if you were to include the psychological effects of going through that experience, I think that could possibly scar you for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
For the rest of your
Because
life, you're
think
just
pain,
like,
that could also be
can't
like
believe.
the death of people, like you'd
yeah,
feel that
possibly
as
emotional,
well.
emotional, or we're getting emotional. I
Yeah,
did say
yeah.
physical pain, but if you
Oh,
want to
physical, true. Okay,
Like,
just physical
that's
pain.
like, I was going to say, if it was emotional, you fuck, like, that's 4 breakups.
Then you really
that's
would
mum
be
and dad
scarred.
dying.
yeah, let's not go there. Yeah. I'll save the emotional pain.
But yeah,
but-
physical, yeah. Oh, man, you just don't know what's
That'd
coming.
be
I don't know.
excruciating. Imagine if you went through surgeries and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't get anaesthetic in that 1 minute, do you?
yeah.
You'd be fucked.
I don't think any amount of anesthetic would help, but
Yeah.
I think
what would you do?
I think I would probably just accept life as it is.
Okay, yeah.
I have wondered that because sometimes when I'm in a bit of pain, I'm like, fuck, like, can't I just get all today or this week's
Yeah.
pain out of the way? Because I always just think of like stubbing your toe or something.
Yeah.
Because it's very short lived, but it's very intense.
Yeah.
It's
stubbing
like
your toe.
that, the movie Click.
Yeah.
Have you seen that with Adam Sandler? He has the
remote
remote
control.
and he can like fast forward time, right?
yeah, of
So
course.
and then he ends up fast forwarding all the boring things in life, and then it gets to like 10 years later and he realizes how much he's missed out on, like all those things he took for granted. He actually ended up missing out on all those little things that he
it's a good
thought.
movie.
Yeah, it is a good
really
movie.
break it down.
That
It's
is a
very
really
smart.
good movie, actually.
Speaking about injuries, have you ever had any big injuries throughout your career or no?
I had a hernia
Yeah.
surgery, had my appendix removed. I've had shoulder surgery from, we call them ninjuries.
Ninjuries.
Yeah, so that was an injury because it was just swinging on my arms for so many years. And then it was like a year and a half ago, I got kind of the bit of the bone cut off at the end there on my shoulder. And then I've had a broken wrist, a bit of a scar there you might be able to see.
Yeah.
From snowboarding, pretty badass, pretty cool guy. So I think aside from that, though, concussion when I was younger,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mentally didn't help. But
Okay.
you guys got.
He's had a pretty bad knee.
Oh yeah,
thing.
it's got a scar there. Yeah,
bit
chicks
of-
dig it.
Bit of surgery. Oh, yeah, I'll say it was a shark attack too. So.
Yeah, of course. It's a pretty small
Shark
shark, but yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Dylan?
I broke my nose playing footy.
Okay.
I've had like some
Hip issues,
like
yeah.
a slight like fracture in my hip just from
Nice.
playing but You know, it's not nothing too crazy.
Yeah. I was going to ask actually about your back.
Yep.
So, go into only as much detail as you can. I know you've mentioned it on the show before, but
Yeah.
you're struggling with it a little bit.
I'm just cooked. Yeah, I'm just I work in a warehouse.
Fucked at 21.
Yeah, so like a lot of bending over, a lot of lifting up boxes and stuff like that, and it happened through sport, like bowling 150 k's at 13 years old in cricket. It's a tough gig. Yeah. So but yeah, my back's just not in a good way. So yeah, I'm thinking about going to a chiro or something. But.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As saying to Dyl before that, I went to a chiro because I was I watch a lot of chiro videos on YouTube and stuff.
They call it chiro porn. I'm pretty sure.
Chiro porn. I love that.
I'm addicted to it.
It's great. It's all over my homepage at the moment. So I've been watching a lot of that. I was watching it last night, and so I went to go see one for myself. I was like, that's it. I'm going to jump in and I'm booking a session. And little
pricey or?
I think it was like a physio or anything else like that. Like maybe the initial consultation is like
exactly.
$90 or something like that. And then anyway, so little did I know it was very I guess Chinese medicine influenced.
Okay.
And so I went in there and before I knew it, he was like, he kind of lost me pretty quickly because he's like, lay down, cool. And he's like, okay, well, if I rotate like your toe this way, like notice how your shoulder's moving. And I was like, oh, what's he talking about? He goes, and then
because they think everything's
if I tug your shirt down here, if I tug down here, it's going to affect this shoulder.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy's going on
They
about
have
how
all
I
the
tuck my
points
shirt.
and stuff in Chinese
Just
medicine. I know,
super weird stuff. And then he got out this little device, which was like a little clicky pen, which I think is meant to be, I don't know. And he just started kind of going around and just essentially just like poking me with this pen in my neck.
Yeah.
And just like hearing these little clicks. And he's like, yeah, do you feel better? And I'm like, bro, you're just like poking me with a pen and
you've been had.
I've been.
Did you do any big like proper cracks?
I was hoping for some big cracks. So eventually, once he'd kind of done all that stuff, and it kind of completely lost me by then.
Was he a small man?
What the?
He wasn't big guy, which I was a little bit worried how he would crack me.
Yeah, exactly.
But we did get into the cracking.
Okay.
And the neck was a big one. Yeah, so which felt amazing. I'm not gonna lie. So it started bad, ended really well.
So you just crack, and is it just like?
It was So he kind of got me in this weird position, and naturally they're like, just relax.
Had you
your head.
bent over?
Yeah, bent over. Yeah, he's like, I just need to crack your neck. So if you can take your pants off.
You're like, what?
So it was pretty satisfying. Got the neck there. I walked out going, I think I feel better, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
As for your back, Jamo, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm clearly
osteotherapy, mate. Like I was saying to Ben, that girl mentioned.
Yeah.
It's a bit more deep tissue.
I think
I'll
muscle. I'll give a bit of everything.
Maybe go 2 in the one day or something.
Yeah.
Really fix yourself.
I
don't know if that's allowed.
I don't know. Yeah, probably against the rules, but
I had another question as well.
Let's go.
You might have asked this before, but anyway, it's something that my mates and I always ask when someone's been. So you're seeing a girl.
Yeah.
So you started seeing a girl, and things are going pretty well. But the ultimate question is, how long do you wait before you drop your first fart?
Oh, okay. Yep.
We have our mate Lockie's just started seeing a girl for a couple, 3-4 weeks. I wonder.
Yeah, I reckon a month. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think he's dropped one yet?
No.
No.
He was too scared to come go-karting with us, so...
I mean, go-karting this week. It was actually really fun. Dylan and I did it. And Lockie just sat out and said it was... he couldn't afford it. It was $20.
It's because he was scared.
He can afford it.
Of course.
He works.
He was nervous. It was fun, yeah.
But yeah, the question, how long until you drop a fart? So basically, I was in a relationship last year, right? And it took me... I was really good with it. 6 months I waited.
See, I've been with
lucky.
my girlfriend for like 3.5 years, and we just don't do it in front of each other.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
Well, obviously,
You're getting through life, obviously.
Sometimes it's difficult, obviously, and you just like leave the room or something. Or like when you leave them, it's like a relief.
Do you do like a silent one sometimes, or you try to?
Sometimes you like But you can tell like if it's going to be like a loud or What about you? How long do you think?
I'm more philosophy of like just get it out straight away. Because there gets to a time when people are like, oh, I'll just wait a few months or whatever.
Yeah, and then before
but it's easy to leave it to future Ben to deal with. But future Ben, a few months down the track, you're like, it's been months and I haven't farted. I can't
the longer
start
it
now.
gets, it can't. Yeah, like it's not going to start for me now at all.
So I'm more of like if I can, day one.
How long have you
day
been
one, let it out.
in a relationship for?
She's going to kill me if I get this wrong, but maybe close to 3 years.
And were you always like, how did you meet? Like, was she doing kind of ninja stuff before as well?
Yeah,
Did you guys like
so,
bond over that? Or?
I'd kind of got over a previous. I was in like a long distance relationship with a girl in Singapore, actually, which
How's
I
long
met here in
distance?
Perth
That's
at a
crazy.
festival.
Difficult?
Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
difficult. Hence why it ended.
What festival?
It was
Good question.
Yeah, great festival. This would have been many, many, many years ago. Flume was playing. I don't remember that.
We've seen Flume at
Yeah.
Listen Out.
He
Yeah,
was chucking a hissy fit.
Yeah,
He was
really?
throwing pots
Yeah,
and
I was
pans
thinking,
and
like,
shit.
what's
It
going
was
on?
Weird. Like, so he wasn't actually DJing. He'd just press play on
He
his
started
mix.
smashing shit on
And then, yeah,
stage.
it's like-
Everything.
Like he was Greek or some shit.
I was like, what the fuck?
It was confusing.
That's
Anyway, so
awesome.
you saw Flume.
Yeah. So saw Flume. Anyway, so that was in a long distance relationship for a couple of years. That ended. And I was doing all my ninja stuff, and I was at the gym, and I'd always known Olivia, but we're kind of just like on that friendship zone of like, you know, awkward hugs and hey, how are yous in the gym, and then I think we're in this little group called the Ninja Titans, where you know, it sounds pretty cool. Ninja Titans, how
let's
lame is
go.
that? And we'd have these group meetings and we'd talk about ninja and what plan for the future and all this kind of stuff. And the other members didn't rock up one day, and so we're sitting in this room, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be awkward. It's just Olivia and I don't know her that well, and you know, a half an hour meeting turned into like a 3 hour kind of just like chat, hang out kind of thing. By the end of it, you know, she had this cookie she was eating, and then it would like all these sprinkles were all over the ground, and she was just eating that shit off the ground. And I was like, it was love at first sight, you know. But that was
This is the one
comfortable-
for me.
That was
Yeah.
the comfortable level, I guess, which goes back to the question of farting earlier.
Yeah.
Is we're super comfortable just like being ourselves, and so I think within that first week, I dropped the first fart, and that's when she's like, oh, it feels comfortable.
I found that like when I withheld from farting, your stomach rumbles. Or mine does, at least.
Sure.
So I'd like, everything that's supposed to come out the back end was like circulating through
It's
my
almost
stomach.
like it's letting other people know you're being courteous, though.
Yeah.
So if I hear your tummy rumble, I'm like, thanks, Jamo.
Yeah. Or I haven't eaten breakfast today. I'm pretty
Sure.
fucking hungry too.
Sure.
But but yeah, I was pretty like good with that. Like I didn't want to. But then I was very comfortable from like early on.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
But are you single now?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that was a 2
And you're
year-
single?
No, I'm not. I'm
Oh, okay.
like 3.5.
Yeah.
years.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
just said you had a partner, so
Mm.
okay.
Have you got to meet anyone through Ninja, like any kind of famous or through the TV or anything cool like
Shane
that?
Crawford. We like Shane Crawford.
Oh, yeah, I
Court's
guess
great,
people on the show,
Court's
yeah.
great, yeah.
He seemed to really be into it as well. Like he was getting
That's
the
because it's
difference.
athletic and he's an
Yeah.
athlete, you know, he just loves that side of it. I reckon.
Yeah, Crawford's definitely one of them. He's a great guy, and he is very interested in it. And he,
Yeah.
you know, he had to go at the wall to wall. I think he actually got the wall to wall,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
off camera.
Freddie Flintoff.
Freddie's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
You know, kind of. I think Shane replaced Freddie, unfortunately, but
We sort of adopted. Well, we did adopt Freddie
He
into
was
like
adopted
Australian
as
culture.
an Australian
Yeah.
for a while.
Mm.
Yeah.
Considering
totally.
he was like a rival back in the cricket days and the Ashes and that, and then like
He's a really funny bloke though. Even some of the stories I've seen him tell on TV are great.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good in front of the camera. And then I don't know. Recently, I don't know if you guys watch any Married at First Sight. Probably.
Oh, my
No,
dad
not
does.
really.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a couple from Married at First Sight hanging out with
Okay.
Kerry and Johnny. They're lovely people.
Okay.
And then I'm doing a video recently of, it's not really to do with Ninja Warrior, but it's around the video title, because I do like fitness challenges,
Yep.
is training like Logan Paul for
Okay.
30
Okay.
days. And he's got his boxing match against Floyd Mayweather coming
Yep.
up. And so I thought it'd be a good thing to do to just try boxing for 30 days, because I'm interested in trying it out. But title the video, I'm training like Logan.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
really it's just a
yeah.
video
Yeah.
about me boxing for 30 days.
Have you started that yet?
Already done it, yeah.
How'd you find it? The boxing?
Yeah, it was tricky. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you can learn all these things, but then as soon as you're actually stepping in a ring and someone's trying to punch you, it all goes
Yeah.
out the window. But yeah, so I got in touch with Logan and did a video call with him, so he could give me some tips for my boxing match, which was very kind of him. And so yeah, I'm in the middle of like editing like crazy to get that out before his fight. And then yeah, I don't know, like as far as meeting people, you guys, you know,
yeah.
of course, number one. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. What about you guys? Anyone you'd like to meet?
So yeah, definitely Hamish and Andy would be someone. Ricky Gervais would
Oh,
love his
100%.
comedy.
Well, I would love to meet Ricky.
Yeah.
I would love to meet Ricky. I would love to meet Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He's another one. But yeah, I don't know if you saw or you know that I was on the Hamish and Andy podcast show.
Oh, really?
Do you actually know that or not?
We didn't know.
Oh,
no.
okay, yeah.
Are they good blokes?
Well, that's a short story in itself. Yeah, lovely guys.
Yeah.
So I had a special skill which they flew me into Melbourne to do.
What was
Okay.
your special skill?
It was throwing a bed sheet onto a bed.
Okay.
What, from distance or like?
Yeah, so I call myself the one throw wonder or Ben the bed whisperer.
Okay.
And my
Fuck,
skill,
that's a good name to have.
yeah, my skill is I think we've all tried it where you've got the bed sheet and you just try and do it in one throw and land it perfectly.
Oh,
and I
okay,
was
yeah.
doing this a lot at the time. I've listened to their podcast and I thought, stuff it, I'll write in. So I did. 2 months later, I got a call and they were
sick.
like, hey, we love your skill. Want to
Yeah.
come over? So went over there, flew me in for one day to just throw a bed sheet
There
onto
you
a
go.
bed. But they were lovely guys.
And how'd you go with the throw?
I actually thought I did really, really well.
Yeah.
I think their expectations, especially Andy, was really high.
He's
Yeah.
always like that with those
Yeah.
special skills, though. He wants it to be like spot on.
Yeah. So I ended up with a coin of no value,
Oh,
unfortunately. But I'm giving it value whether they
Okay.
like it
oh
or
I
not.
think it does have a bit of value.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And did you say so? You got in contact with Logan Paul?
yeah.
Good bloke? Like
Yeah, yeah.
How'd you do that?
I think you know what I think. The magic of the Instagram blue tick.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think,
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, a little bit of magic there.
And then so it was just like having a chat over.
Yeah, so just having a chat over Instagram,
And,
just
yeah,
sent him a message
seemed
and,
alright?
and he replied, yeah. So
Nice.
then got on a video call and just chatted to him for a while, and he gave me 10 minutes of his time just to kind of chat
That's
and
nice.
this and that,
That's
and
quality.
yeah, lovely guy.
Will
So-
you be supporting him in that fight?
Yeah, look, I think I will because he's helped me out
Yeah.
a bit.
That's
so
nice.
I'm gonna,
Yeah, you
I'm gonna
gotta-
support him.
What's Mayweather done for you?
Yeah, I know. Buddy Mayweather. Yeah.
And
Um,
how's Brisbane? Because you recently said you moved over there. How's that treating you?
Brisbane's good. I don't know if you guys have ever been there before.
I've
but
been to Gold Coast, not Brisbane.
Sure.
So
yeah.
no.
Yeah. It's very similar to Perth.
Okay.
Just a lot of everything's pretty much 15 minutes away if you want it to be.
Yeah.
You live your life in your certain area, it's just missing the coast. That's all.
Yeah.
Which I think then again, you guys are pretty far away from the coast. So
Yeah.
you may as well be
40
living
minutes.
in Brisbane.
But then again, like
We'll
you
move.
always have the ability to come back home and like.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love Perth, and I'll probably be back. I know you've got a few listeners which come and visit Perth every now and then and try
Yeah.
to figure it out. It's really not that small, is it? It's actually pretty awesome, Perth.
Yeah,
Uh,
Perth is a cool place. Yeah.
But as much as we
Just
can say it's
boring because
boring,
I've been here for so
exactly.
long.
I've
That's
been here
why.
for 21, 22 years.
That's
so
right,
like,
yeah.
But it is a nice place, 100%.
Where would you want to live outside of Perth then?
well, we're hopefully going to Melbourne at mid
July.
July.
Yeah, too. Yeah.
I would, and I think I do want to experience living in another country at some point in my life. I just feel like when you look at successful like people, they do leave home. I feel like that's a really common thing.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
just experiencing. So I feel
Embracing
like
new
that's I
opportunity.
really do think that's like a necessity. So hopefully when COVID's done, like try and live in a different country just to see what it's like.
Forced growth, I think.
100%.
It's
Yeah.
like you got no choice. You have to just deal with it.
Yeah.
So, no, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's leave you with this last question.
Of course.
How would you like to be remembered?
Is this where you ask all your guests?
This is one that
Yeah,
I've
we ac-
adopted
yeah.
from the True Geordie podcast, which is an English podcast.
Yeah, he's great.
But yeah, how would you like to be remembered? I know it's a very deep question.
No, of course. Yeah, I think. How would I like to be remembered? I think I would like to be remembered. The impact. I want to have the kind of impact where, if I change one person's life, especially kids, because kids watch Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
If I can change a kid's life and help change their perspective, that will then have a ripple effect on
Others.
someone that they teach.
Yeah.
I think, you can impact people's lives by entertaining them, being like, oh my God, he was a great entertainer. But he didn't actually change the way he didn't help me
view the
necessarily in
world
any
or
sort of world. He
anything.
just kept me happy when times were low, but he didn't help change my perception or anything. I think I'd like to educate people and help change their perception and so that will then stick with them for the rest of their life and they can help someone else. I don't know.
It's a great
Probably
message.
lame,
Sounds
but
good. No,
No,
it's
it's
good.
good.
I like that.
Well, I guess tune in. See you on the new upcoming
course.
ninja season.
Yeah,
When's
Ninja.
that?
I think it'll be out June, July.
There you go. See if you can go
So
back to back.
Channel
Back to
9.
back chair. Imagine that. Has anyone ever done that? I don't
I think in Japan they have.
Oh, really?
They're wild over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
well, I guess tune in to see.
Yeah, make sure you check out Ben's YouTube channel, and we'll have all the
Instagram,
links.
all of that. Yeah,
all the
links
links in the
the
description. But yeah,
Thanks for coming
It
on.
was a
We
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks
Thanks a lot,
boys. Thanks
Cheers.
for having me.
There's no better place than this little beach town. Parties all day, raves at night. Beach babes and the boys with the 6'4" height. The sun and the sand and the Jaeger in your hand that you bought yesterday from the local liquor land. You're with a fit